Now, let's take a look at this. Imagine traveling to another country for one of the world's biggest sporting events and then deciding not to go back home. This is exactly the conversation happening after Ghanaians World Cup visitors have reportedly signed for asylum in Canada.
Now, Ghanaians in history-making asylum claims in Canada after World Cup visit to the North American country. Visitors who went to watch the 2026 World Cup in Canada have refused to leave the North American country. Canada's Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Office says it received 175 asylum claims. The asylum seekers are from countries such as Egypt, Senegal, Colombia, Ecuador, and you guessed right, Ghana, topping the list with 25 applications.
You see again, 2010, this is what befell us. You had people who came from the World Cup that never left. I think this is a thing Ghanaians do. And I mean, Ghana, their president, instead of focusing on the mess and the non-functioning Ghana as a country, their focus becomes not the diagnosis of the problem. Why are my citizens running away to these other countries? Because surely you need to diagnose the problem and be like, oh shit, we don't have functioning toilet system, we don't have a functioning where to throw refusal rubbish, a system where to reuse the dirt and whatever. We don't have all these things and development and create a drive, a vision for Ghana, so Ghana can get up and work. They're working with Israel. That's the only thing, is bilateral. We having a tight relationship with Israel. Your citizens are running away. That means when your citizens leave your country seeking asylum from when there's no war in Ghana, it shows you that Ghanaians hate Ghana. Ghanaians don't like the damn place where they come from themselves. Huh? How can we unite with this type of mentality in Africa, where we have cowards, people of those citizens of that country who run away and act like they love Ghana when they are told to go home, but they're the ones who ran away. This is not an economic. It's not a. They ran away. So this is Ghana should be focusing on developing Ghana. They're busy focusing on silly petitions against South Africa. What a damn shame. Africa is at its lowest point on leadership and accountability than ever before.
Ghanaians, they don't want to leave Canada. Like, Canada approved 26,000 visa applications in regards to FIFA, the World Cup. Now they talking about, we ain't going home. We seeking asylum. We're not going back to Ghana. And they have their brothers, 10 Nigerians. So out of application approval for 26,000 applicants, this is what the Ghanaians and Nigerians are doing. They said they're not returning back to Africa. You come to a country to see FIFA. You know, you are approved to go watch these FIFA games, and now you're telling the country that, you know what? No, we're not going home. This is our new home. And this is not Ghana's first time doing this. Back in 2014, they did the same thing when the World Cup was in Brazil, and they stated that it was because of religious persecution. And their government, the Ghana government, was like, no, y'all, this is a baseless claim. There's no religion persecution going on in Ghana. But yeah, once again, they approved 26,000 applications based on FIFA, the World Cup, for those people to come see, you know, FIFA play, you know, the teams playing FIFA. Now they not returning. They don't want to go home, the Nigerians and the Ghanaians. So yeah, that's crazy, man. And you wonder why people start putting all these visa restrictions on certain countries, right? You either overstaying your visa, you get to these countries and want to do something else. You don't want to go home.
Now, when you hear something like this, the first question many people ask is why? Why would someone travel for a sporting event and then decide they don't want to go home, they don't want to return home? I think this is where the conversation becomes more complicated. Because for many people around the world, especially young people, traveling abroad is not just about tourism. Sometimes it represents hope. It represents the possibility of better jobs, a different quality of life, better opportunities, or just the chance to start all over again. And let's be honest, many African countries have talented, hardworking people who are looking for opportunities that they feel they are limited back home. But at the same time, we also have to talk about the consequences of using temporary opportunities as a way to stay permanently in another country. Because situations like this, when they happen, it affects how countries view future travelers. Now, imagine someone who genuinely wants to travel just to visit family, attend an event, or experience another country. They may face more difficulties because immigration authorities becomes more cautious. Take for an example now, South Africa is saying that they don't want to ever host another World Cup. They don't want to ever host another AFCON because of situations like this.
Guys, you know what? Sijo, 25 of your countrymen say that they are looking for asylum in Canada. Now, this information was contained in a report from IRGCC, which is the Immigration and Refugee Canada. Egypt and Colombia also have 50 nationals each who have also gone to seek asylum in Canada after also coming to the competition for the World Cup. And then you have Senegal, Bangladesh, Nigeria. Nigeria didn't qualify, but there were 10 Nigerians in Canada, or there are 10 Nigerians in Canada who came for the World Cup, who came for the purposes of watching the World Cup, who say that they want asylum. Then there's Ecuador, Burundi, Nepal, and Pakistan. They accounted for five applications each. Now you have to remember that all the people that applied for the asylum status, their visa application forms, because they apply for temporary visa to enter, the reason they gave for why they were traveling to Canada was the World Cup, and that's why the story is World Cup related. So the indicator in your application that you were coming there to watch the World Cup, and they gave you the visa, and you've now come to say you are seeking asylum, they say that you're a World Cup asylum seeker.
So what? All of a sudden there is war in Ghana, or people's lives are at risk. Because why? Why would you go to the World Cup and decide not to come back? Well, reports indicate that 25 Ghanaians who had visas to attend the World Cup in Canada have filed for asylum. Back. They want to now why? What's happening in Ghana that you don't want to return? This is why Trump denied a lot of people visas. So because when himself Ghana for your quiet fiber, you took quiet fiber. I don't understand.
Ghana is doing relatively well, but obviously not as well as Canada. This leads to the conspiracy that people have been talking about for so many years, that the 2010 World Cup, when we welcomed people into South Africa, many of them didn't leave. Some are still here to this day illegally. Some maybe got some asylum seeking visas and things like that. But this is pretty crazy. So these Ghanaians don't want to leave Canada anymore. Basically, 25 Ghanaian nationals who entered Canada on temporary visas for the 2026 FIFA World Cup have applied for asylum, matching a total of 25 claims from China as the highest groups among tournament visitors. Data released by the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada IRCC confirms that these filings are part of the 175 total refugee claims made by individuals approved for temporary travel during the matches. So it's not just Ghanaians, there are also Chinese people. So it's not really about an economic issue. Maybe for the Ghanaians it's economic, and maybe for the Chinese it's just convenient. We don't know the reason why they are applying for asylum. Here are the World Cup asylum statistics. So the total claims are 175 refugee applications submitted out of more than 26,000 FIFA-related temporary visas approved by Canada. The leading countries include Ghana and China, tied with 25 claims each, followed by Egypt and Colombia with 15 claims apiece. The cutoff date, the data compiled and reported by the IRCC as of July 20, 2026. So, similar asylum incidents occurred during past major athletic events, including 2014 World Cup in Brazil and also the 2010 Winter Olympics in Vancouver. So yeah, this is very common. It means like every major sporting event, people go to a country with a plan to stay there. So they take advantage of the whole, because obviously a country at that moment they'll be welcoming everyone that's coming into the country. So people who've always wanted to visit the country, they just go and attend the event, maybe FIFA World Cup, Olympics, any major sporting event or any event that will welcome foreigners. So they just take advantage of the whole situation. To me, this just says that the immigration issues in South Africa, like, they're not really special. The only difference is in South Africa, instead of going through the legal process like normal people, Home Affairs is so corrupt that they give individuals these documents for asylum seekers under the table. They usually get bribes and all of that. Maybe Canada is a bit different. Maybe there you have to actually go through the whole process, since many European countries, including America as well, such things will never be publicized. Like, I mean, even in the USA, when it comes to bribing politicians, it's not really bribing, it's lobbying. It's totally legal. So yeah, man, with European or Western countries, it's not really that bad, because really they keep control of their immigration. The only immigrants they allow in their countries like Canada and the United States, they welcome mostly European immigrants, people who look like them. While in Africa, it's a bit different. When it comes to immigrants that look like us, African immigrants, we chase them away, and mostly we welcome European immigrants. Those ones are not even scrutinized that much. If you're European, you don't even need a driver's license. Who the hell will stop you? Because people assume an immigrant is an African. When you're European, maybe they assume that you are special somehow, but that's how people look at it. So yeah, that's the reason in Africa we chase away illegal immigrants of African descent and we welcome Europeans. But in European countries, they chase away African illegal immigrants and they welcome Europeans. It's a crazy paradox, but it's not really that crazy. We live in a world that's being controlled by the Western powers. So anything that's European, Western is good, and everything that's African, Afrocentric is bad, according to the narrative that's been created.
Personally, I think this conversation is beyond people asking for asylum. It shows a level of desperation and search of opportunities people experience around the world. Now, it also raises the question of responsibility. What is the government doing? What is the government doing to make its country a better place, an environment where citizens feel they are safe and they feel like they have a better future? Because this is not just about Ghana or Canada. This is a global conversation. This is something we hear every day. How people are willing to risk their life to go start somewhere else simply because they feel like they're going to have it better there than they do in their own country. I'd like to know what we think about this issue. I'd like to know our own opinions. So please, let's have a respectful conversation in the comments. And if you find this video informative, do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in my next one.